Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Parfums de Marly masculine and feminine buying guide. I have some of my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances here and I'm going to share my thoughts on each one. Parfums de Marly is an iconic house, but it is quite expensive. The price is justifiable for the product. I think that all of Parfums de Marly fragrances are, there's just something extra special about Parfums de Marly. The house in general, all the fragrances.
Parfums de Marly ist schon ein guter Einstieg so in die Nischenwelt, ne? Und die haben halt sehr viele Düfte, die einem gefallen werden, ohne dass man sich Gedanken darüber machen muss, ob die jetzt mass-appealing sind oder so. Also ich muss sagen, Parfums de Marly war ein sehr, sehr guter Schritt. Initio gleichwert.
Are just so magnificently done and just stunning, and they have this really great way of being mass appealing, generally very mass appealing, but at the same time being very high quality, very put together. All these fragrances are scents that you can wear in basically any occasion. You're not going to ever really offend anyone. In fact, you'll probably get some very positive reactions. So let's jump into it with probably my favorite fragrance, masculine fragrance, one that I've recommended a million times on this channel already, and that is Haultain. You guys know I am just obsessed with this fragrance. I cannot recommend it enough. It's the newest masculine release from Parfums de Marly, and it was a Harrods exclusive, but I think maybe about 2 years ago now.
Der war Harrods Exclusive. Das hat mir die Dings bestimmt auch gesagt. Ich habe es nur vergessen.
Half ago, they decided to bring it out to the open market, and for that reason, a lot of people don't know about it. Actually, I was just in Saks yesterday, and there was a guy at the Parfums de Marly counter smelling Haultain, and he was with the saleswoman. She had 2 boxes in her hand. She had a box of Haultain and a box of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, and he's sitting there like trying to decide which one to get. I told him, I said, get Haultain. Trust me, get Haultain, put Tobacco Vanille back. It's not even a competition. Haultain every single time. This is just one of the best oud fragrances ever, in my opinion. It's just so amazing. This fresh, it's a very sweet, very appealing oud. Really good for a beginner as well. I think that if you are newer to fragrances and you're looking for an oud fragrance that would be very easy to wear, I think Haultain is definitely the one. The notes in this, we have some clary sage, lavender, bergamot, and a bit of praline adds a really beautiful gourmand touch to this. A lot of sweetness as well. Some saffron adds a little spice with a base of agarwood and cedar. And there's a lot of woody, musky undertones to this. It is very, very, very elegant. I love the spice of this, and I love...
Wie sieht's denn aus dem Chat aus? Habt ihr schon Erfahrung jetzt gemacht mit Parfums de Marly? Ich glaube, wir haben es jetzt so knapp ein halbes Jahr. Hey Marc, für eine Uhr aus Jahr 1991, Omega Speedmaster oder Rolex GMT. Wenn du dir die GMT leisten kannst, hol dir immer die GMT. Habt ihr schon jetzt Parfums de Marly getestet oder so? Wir hatten ja so ein paar Testkits. Ich weiß gar nicht, ist das noch überhaupt online, das Testkit? Ah, seht ihr? Okay. Hier habt ihr ja auch Haltane mit dabei, worüber sie gerade spricht. Habt ihr schon mal getestet? Habt 3 Stück? Okay. Ja. Habt ihr die selber gekauft? Also habt ihr die gekauft oder habt ihr das Testset mal probiert? Weil hier haben wir ja tatsächlich alle super laufenden Düfte mit drin. PERCIVAL, ja, PERCIVAL ist auch, finde ich, sehr, sehr stark.
Love the sweetness that the praline brings. Almost like this mixture of like toffee, caramel, but just light. It's not like an overly sweet fragrance at all, but it just adds the most beautiful, realistic brightness to this. Very, very appealing. This one is a lady killer, 100%. People praise LAYTON all the time for being a very easy to wear, easy to grab fragrance, but I honestly think that this is better. And I know that a lot of my viewers actually have Haultain and love it, and they leave comments on my videos all the time. So leave one now, tell everyone how much you love Haultain. Haultain is one that could easily be a signature scent in your collection. Just done.
Ey, die hat das jetzt so heiß gemacht. Ich habe keinen Bock gehabt aufzustehen, weil es so warm ist. Jetzt muss ich doch aufstehen. Was hat die denn noch hier? Haultain, PEGASUS Exclusive, PERCIVAL, LAYTON, Acasta, Harrod, kann ich direkt alle mitnehmen. Ich habe nicht alle, aber hoffentlich sind da genug jetzt dabei. Oh, guck mal, das Branding, machen wir Branding jetzt richtig hier. Zack, Junge, direkt hier mit dem richtigen. Hoppa. Zack, zack, zack. Fand die Flasche nicht so exklusiv, darum nicht getestet. Ja, ich sag mal so. Unsere Parfums sind jetzt auch nicht, unsere Parfums sehen auch jetzt nicht so krass vom Aussehen aus, aber innen drin ist nur das Beste vom Besten. So, sie hat jetzt auf jeden Fall so viel Hoabo um Haultain gemacht. Da gehen wir jetzt nochmal, was sagst du zur Tissot PRX? Was soll ich dazu sagen? Das ist eine 200-Euro-Uhr. Also, es ist ein Mitnahme. Also, es kannst du gerne kaufen und tragen, aber das hat jetzt... Das ist eine gute Uhr. Aber wenn du von mir jetzt hören willst, dass ich sage, Alter, das ist die heftigste Uhr, die du dir kaufen kannst, nee. Ich würde, ist jetzt nichts für mich.
This one is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. There's almost even like a slight fruitiness to this, but I can't really put my finger on it. But guys, if you're gonna get anything from this sale, definitely try to get Haultain. It is just phenomenal. You will not regret it, and you will get so much attention from the ladies because this is just it's a mixture of elegance and just super masculinity. It's just, like I said, it's a masterpiece, and I do not say that lightly. My favorite, hands down, Haultain. So moving on now, we'll talk about PEGASUS.
Man hat ein bisschen Oud drin, das stimmt schon. Da muss ich mal ein bisschen mehr Aufmerksamkeit schenken, muss ich sagen, fühle ich. Habe ich irgendwie noch nie gezeigt, aber also da bin ich dabei. Na, da bin ich dabei. Also Haultain bin ich dabei. Als nächstes kommt PEGASUS Exclusive.
Says exclusive. This is one that I not recently discovered, but just basically revisited in preparation for this video, and I was just wowed by it. I did a side-by-side comparison of this and Pegasus, and you'll notice that Pegasus isn't even on.
Jo. Ich hab das gar nicht. PEGASUS Exclusive. Ich hab das gar nicht. Ist das ein anderes? Ich hab das irgendwie nicht, PEGASUS Exclusive. Ich hab nur das normale. Ist da ein Unterschied?
On the list because I prefer PEGASUS EXCLUSIF like 100 times over than PEGASUS. It's not even a competition. It's another love for me, but this one is a little different. It's a little more Erica.
Aber nicht.
You need to talk about PERCIVAL. I agree, and there's a very good chance that I'll be picking up a bottle during these sales because I went out, I tried it, I got a sample of it, and it's stunning. Really good for summer. I know that a lot of my viewers really love this one, and this one is definitely more mass appealing than PEGASUS EXCLUSIF than the last one. It's very fresh and very dynamic. In the top, we have lavender, we have mandarin orange with some bergamot and geranium, with some coriander and jasmine and cinnamon in the mid, with a base of ambroxan, amberwood, balsam fir, musk, and cedarwood. Very, very appealing. I don't want to say one of the most mass appealing because I think there's definitely others that people would lean more towards, which I'll talk about. But this one, there is just a beautiful freshness to it that I think a lot of people would be attracted to, especially.
Es ist ein sehr, sehr frischer Duft. Ich glaube sogar, dass wir gewisse Trendthemen aus der Vergangenheit zeitnah wiedersehen werden. So wie David of Cool Water, so dieser Vibe. Und das transportiert auch dieser Duft, Percival.
A lot of women. You guys have seen my street reactions where I go out and ask women what they think about different men's fragrances. And it seems that women are just obsessed, at least here in Miami, they're obsessed with clean, aquatic, bright, fresh fragrances. This one definitely has a very refined, clean vibe to it. And very sweet. It's like a very sweet greenness. It might be that balsam fir. I wouldn't say that this is really a blue fragrance. No, I think it's more green than blue. It's a very, very seductive fragrance. I could see this.
Ich würde mehr blau sagen.
One being an all occasion wear. You could pull this off in the office, daytime, nighttime. I think it would work.
Office, klassischer
basically
Office
anywhere you
Duft.
take this fragrance, I think that it will shine. So if you're looking for something that's a little more versatile, definitely check out PERCIVAL for the summer. So next, we will talk about LAYTON, probably the most popular one from the brand. What the house is probably most famous for, right? Like everyone knows about LAYTON. I know at least 10 different men before I started my fragrance channel that wore LAYTON as their signature scent. For that reason alone, it might be a little off-putting for you. If you're looking for something that's a little more unique, you might not be drawn to LAYTON. There's definitely better options on the list than LAYTON, I think, if you're wanting to smell a little different, if you're wanting something just a little unique, basically something that not everyone else is wearing. There's a lot of apple and lavender in the opening.
Aber ich sag euch eine Sache.
Very, very appealing. Like I said, it's the most.
Was sie sagt, also mit Sicherheit LAYTON ist der meistverkaufte Duft, aber ich kenne niemanden, der den so mäßig trägt. Also jetzt mal Real Talk. Also es ist halt ein sehr, sehr, sehr guter, gut handwerklich top gemachter Duft, aber ich wüsste jetzt auch nicht, dass der oversold ist. Also.
It's popular for a reason. Also a lot of cardamom here. There's a little slight spiciness, but in the opening it's just that apple and lavender. This one has some bergamot, has mandarin orange, it has some florals in the mid with a base of some vanilla, cardamom, sandalwood, pepper, patchouli, and guaiac wood in the base. It is very amazing. It's very sexy, I will say, but it is very familiar as well. To me, it's kind of like.
Was? Super Schurke schreibt, ich habe Galloway. Ich tue immer so, dass ich es mag, aber ich mag's nicht. Okay.
Chanel or Dior Sauvage, and definitely as common as those as well. It's definitely great for people that might be beginners in their fragrance journey, or you're just wanting something that is a little on the safe side. But if you are a full-blown frag head, you might not be very impressed by it. So now I want to talk about one that I discovered a couple days ago as well, just because I was at the counter sniffing around and I saw this one, and I don't think I've ever heard any
at the counter sniffing around.
One talking about this ever. This one is Acaster. Beautiful rose oud fragrance.
Acaster, habe ich auch nicht. Habe ich auch nicht. Neck, Harrod.
Just melts. Now we're talking about Herod. I know probably most of you know about it, but even just preparing for this video, because this.
Alter, sie sagt von jedem, dass sie kennt. Ich kenne davon keinen einzigen. Ich habe es einmal getestet. Ich weiß gar nichts über die Produkte, die ich hier verkaufe.
It's one that I actually bought for myself because it is entirely unisex and I love the scent. So I bought it, I think last Black Friday for myself to wear, and my collection has expanded like crazy, and it's just one that I kind of put on the back burner a little. It's not one that I reach for a lot.
Jeder, der Tony Yomi mag, das ist ein bisschen frischer.
But when I took a bottle out to make this video, wow, I just fell in love all over again. Yep, I knew as soon as I smell it, it's going to put a huge smile on my face, guys. This is an absolute must-have, and I will say I like it more than Carlisle. Gorgeous, very vanillic tobacco scent. Very warm, spicy too. Perfect for the holidays, the cooler months. You could probably pull it off in the summer if you really wanted to. I just go very light on the trigger and the spur. Do not go too crazy. Probably best for summer nights. It's just so warm and cozy and cuddly. This is probably the ultimate like Netflix and chill scent. So the notes in here, in the top, we have some cinnamon. Love the cinnamon in this with some pepper. With tobacco leaves, some incense, and osmanthus. And a little bit of labdanum as well. The slightest kind of suede-ish leather vibe in this. In the mid, we have some vanilla, gorgeous vanilla with some isoe super, some cedar, some musk. In the base, we have cypriol oil and vetiver. It's a very slightly, the tiniest bit gourmand tobacco scent. I cannot say enough about this scent. I'm literally
so süßer Tabako-Scent.
Smelling it. This is
Geile
one of the
DNA.
sexiest, coziest fragrances that I have in my entire collection. This one is also 100% unisex. Any of the ladies watching me, Herod is definitely one to have. And yeah, it's technically better for the cooler months, but hey, you can get your bottle while it's on sale and it'll macerate perfectly for the winter time. Like my bottle has just continued to get better and better and better every time that I revisit it. It's just so smooth and complex right from the start. It is a winner for me. This one is definitely a winter staple for anyone. Women and men, everyone needs Herod in their life, and it performs very well for me. Harrod. Love it. I don't even want to move on to the next one. Like, I just want to keep smelling Harrod. So now let's talk about LAYTON Exclusive. I definitely prefer this one over the original LAYTON. Well, I think there's a time and place for both. It just depends on the mood, the day,
Ich glaube, das hat mir besser gefallen.
These are all very important factors. For me, this one is kind of like the big brother to LAYTON. It's definitely darker, more sensual, and more masculine and deep. It's like an oriental style version of LAYTON. There is some animalic undertones in this that you have to be careful of. It's definitely one of the fragrances in the Parfum line that is a little tiny bit more challenging. This one for me is more woody, has some more amber. So the notes in here in the
schon maskuliner Duft, sehr geiler Duft. Paar frische Noten am Anfang, aber da kommt was Dunkles.
Top almond with some mandarin orange. With bergamot in the mid, there is a civet note in here, just a little tiny bit animalic, with some geranium rose and gardenia, some florals here, with a base of guaiac wood, some Laotian oud, with vanilla, a coffee note, with some oak moss and pink pepper. It's definitely a lot.
Also entweder sie kennt das alles auswendig. Hör mal, also ablesen tut sie das nicht. Das ist meine Vorbereitung. Nicht so eine Nummer, die ihr von mir geboten bekommt.
More mysterious. It's for people out there that like to have a challenge because of that animalic note, that very subtle animalic touch in the background. It is a little challenging, I think, for some people, but in my opinion, I could be crazy. I keep saying it, I could be crazy. I think it's a little more classy than the original LAYTON.
Cooler Duft.
Very sexy. Kind of has this dirty touch to it too. That's very enticing for the ladies. Okay, now we're gonna talk about KALAN. This is one that gets some undeserved hate, I think, at least from what I've heard from people talking about it.
KALAN ist mein Favorite. Es ist so, ich habe es euch oft gesagt, KALAN ist so ein, ja, Red Ferrari. KALAN ist mein Favorite. Ich habe ihn gerochen, war lieber auf den ersten Sniff, wie man so schön sagt, ne? Wenn ich hier an der Flasche herumsniffe.
The immediate blast on this, you get some Baccarat Rouge by 40 vibes. Very slight, and that's kind of the reason that people say some not so nice things about
Beste Duft.
because of that, but it goes away in like 3 seconds. That Baccarat Rouge by 40 blast, literally count to 3, is gone. After those 3 seconds, the spiciness of this one really comes through. And it's interesting because this one is done in a way that the spice...
Guck mal, der hat brutalen Charakter. Da ist 30 Grad draußen, tragt den Duft. Der ist zitrisch, der geht nach vorne. Klassischer, das ist kein französischer Duft. Das ist ein richtiger reinrassiger Italiener. Das ist ein Italiener. Machst du hier Hemd auf, weißt du? Machst du hier... Machst du hier Sizilien? Der hier sizilianische Bergamotte ist hier drin. Boah, Junge, hier geht die Post ab, Mann. KALAN ist mein Duft. Ich sag euch, wie es ist. KALAN ist mein Duft. Wenn ich einen spritzigen grünen Duft rausbringen würde, würde ich mir wünschen, ich könnte die DNA so machen wie KALAN. Das ist ein Duft, den identifiziere ich. Das ist mein Duft hier.
Spiciness. It reminds me...
Spicy. Und zitronig.
Of some fragrances that I don't like Holism by Chemi and Synthetic Jungle by Frederic Malle. It has...
Kannst du deine Top 3 Sommerdüfte aufzählen? Merkt ihr die Frage? Wir haben hier noch ein paar günstige Düfte, die ich gleich nochmal durchgehen würde. Aber ich werde euch gleich was zeigen.
Something similar, something...
Meinung von Victoria dazu, zu dem Duft? Ich habe sie noch nie gefragt. Also bei dem habe ich sie jetzt nicht gefragt, bei dem Duft.
Related to those, but in this one, I like it. It's not off-putting like the other ones. If anything, it just adds something totally different and unique. So in the notes in this, in the top, we have spices, some blood orange, some black pepper, with a mid of lavender and some orange blossom, with a base of whizzing notes, some moss, some white sandalwood, tonka bean, and amber. This one for me is like a very, very, very modernized fougere scent, with that tonka, the amber, and the lavender here. It has a very slight, clean vibe to it too. It's very crisp, I think is the best way to describe this. Spicy and crisp and bright. This one, I have to say, is probably going to be the most polarizing out of the Parfums line.
Das ist das. Habt ihr gehört? The most polarizing. Ihr habt Xerchow und den ganzen Kram. KALAN is the way to go.
Which I think a lot of people can agree with. But that being said, it really provides a unique quality to it. You're not going to smell like a lot of people out there if you try it. It's definitely worth testing. So now we'll talk about SEDLEY, another very popular one from the line. This is another summer must-have, absolute gorgeous fragrance for the hotter months. It's a very citrusy, aromatic fragrance, just perfect for the summer. It's very invigorating and bright. It really lifts you up when you wear this. This one is probably one of the most mass appealing, probably the most similar to other designers, but this one it's more refined. It's better than any designer you can get. So the notes in here, we have lemon with a mint note, with bergamot and grapefruit. In the mid, we have some lavender, rosemary, some olibanum, and geranium with a base of ambroxan, sandalwood, vetiver, cashmere, cedar.
Ja, also das ist so eine Sache, wo sie sagt, designermäßig, so Chanel und so, nur halt in besser gemacht. Aber da bin ich raus. Das ist für mich, also guck mal, merkt euch mal bitte, wenn wir hier jemanden reinbekommen im Chat oder so, der sagt zum Beispiel, ich habe jetzt blöde Chanel und diese Sachen und mir gefällt die Duftlinie. Ich stehe einfach auf diese Art von Düften, Dior, Eau Sauvage und so, dann können wir ihm hier diesen Duft empfehlen, SEDLEY. Also das ist aber nicht, ich brauche was anderes.
It's kind of like a mixture of blue-green, in my opinion. Kind of has very slight aquatic vibes here, but it's not so generic as a lot of the other ones on the market.
Ist gut, super Duft, aber nicht mein Style.
Like a medium-level longevity. Very appealing and just, it's kind of a fun scent.
Jeder wird den feiern, sagen wir mal so, aber es ist für mich nicht.
Citrusy, minty, aromatic, check out SEDLEY. So now we'll talk about another amazing warm weather scent. This is GREENLEY. Another one that I don't think necessarily gets as much attention as it
GREENLEY.
deserves. I know that it's more known, but I still think that it does not get the attention that it deserves. These are for the guys out there that love a juicy, fat green apple. So much sweetness in the top of this one. It's a very sexy,
juicy,
fun,
fat
prominent green apple. So the notes,
okay.
of course, there's some green apple in the top with some bergamot, with some mandarin orange. In the mid, we have petitgrain, cashmere, cedar, and pomerose, with some violet. In the base, we have oak moss, musk, and amberwood. For me, this is a top winner from Parfums de Marly. There has been some people that say there's like a shampoo vibe to this. I could kind of see that argument. A very, very slight, subtle kind of soapy feel to this, but it's not in a bad way at all. It's not in a generic, cheap shampoo vibe like I've heard some people saying, but it does have a very slightly soapy vibe, but it just adds to the cleanness. But I think that what you get out of this most
Easygoing summer scent. Grüner Summer Scent. Apfel, ja. Guter Apfel, ja.
It's just that very realistic, juicy green apple. It's a very fun fragrance.
Also, wenn man den hat, wird man ihn tragen. Würde ich den jetzt für mich kaufen? Nein, aber ich bin jetzt auch nicht der Maßstab, aber gut.
And this is for the guys that like SEDLEY but want to try something a little different. Definitely try. At least get a sample of GREENLEY. Test it out for yourself. So now I want to talk about some of my favorites from the feminine collection. This is great for any ladies watching me, but also if you're a guy and you have a woman in your life, these make amazing gifts.
Feminin
like the most
können wir mal in Ruhe machen.
Gifts.
Aber cool, also sie hat auf jeden Fall ein paar sehr valide Punkte gemacht, muss ich sagen. Also coole Sachen, die sie hier vorgestellt hat.